Welcome into Mulcahy Stadium for Scouts Showcase game number 2 for the Matsu Miners. They will be taking on the Anchorage Bucs, so a team familiar to Anchorage, as this game is just an exhibition game, does not go towards records, and about 27 scouts in attendance here tonight to watch these Miners and Bucs players, and the game before us, Oilers and Pilots players. So we'll run through the Matsu Miners starting lineup, leading things off, the center fielder out of Grand Canyon University, Kona Quiggle, followed by the second baseman out of UC Davis, Caleb Van Blake. In the 3 spot, the first baseman out of Oral Roberts, Spencer Henston. Cleaning things up for the Miners is the catcher from Gonzaga, Austin Pinerini. In the 5 spot is the designated hitter out of Texas A&M, Aaron Walters, followed by the right fielder out of Gonzaga, Nick Brooks. And in the 7, 8, 9 spots are left fielder out of Southeast Missouri State, Danny Wright, third baseman from the University of Nevada, Reno, Tyler Bozetti, and rounding things off in the 9 hole, the shortstop, Drew Swift. They'll be facing Jacob Flores, the left-handed thrower out of San Diego State University. Flores has appeared in 5 games, only starting in 1 of them, as this is sort of an irregular rotation for pitchers in this Scout Showcase game, just trying to show all of your arms. So would imagine Flores, this may be a rarity for him starting, and only will go 2 or 3 innings, and then we'll see the rest of the Bucs throwers. So leading things off, we mentioned Kona Quiggle, the all-star. This Miners lineup to start with 7 out of the 9 players are as then in total. Check that, 12 in total. Heading to tomorrow's All-Star game. So we're about ready to get started here for game number 2 of the Scouts Showcase for the Miners, and Flores will miss inside to Kona Quiggle on a fastball. Kona this season batting .289, has a .377 on base percentage, and is tied for second in hits with 35. So the 1-1 is a fastball that hits high in the zone for Jacob Flores. Kona out of Grand Canyon, he only batted .258, did have a .347 on base percentage in 23 games this past spring, so really looking to improve where he's at on the depth chart this next spring as he bounces one just foul over the first base bag. Jake Feith grabs it. So Kona Quiggle will fall on the count 1-2 here in the top of the first inning. Kona out of Phoenix, Arizona, and was really looking forward to this break. Only 3 hits in his last 19 at-bats, so his average was starting to fall, but with this Scout Showcase and All-Star game tomorrow, a time to relax a bit. So Flores will miss outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is Brad Walker, and alongside me is Connor Mills on the call for tonight. So Flores winds and deals. 2-2 pitch is a breaker that misses outside. Kona Quiggle has worked the count full. The Miners heading into this little break are leading the ABL at 21-12. They're followed by the Oilers, who are 3 games back, and the Bucs sitting third currently at 15-17 and are 5.5 games behind the Miners. Payoff pitch. Quiggle swinging, bounces it foul and into that fence along the right field line. So he'll stay at a 3-2 count. Kona did not play in the first game for the Miners in their first showcase game. So got the day off. But playing today, as we expected, a new lineup, and it's here. And this 3-2 pitch misses well inside. Will actually roll to the backstop. So Kona Quiggle will draw a walk to begin this showcase game. And the defense for the Bucs goes as follows. Man behind the plate is Sladen Mole. Over in the hot corner is Troy Clonch. At shortstop, Willie Scala. The second baseman, J.C. Correa. And over at first is Jake Feith. In the outfield from left to right is Daniel Fredrickson, Brennan Bro, and Logan Enos. That's your Anchorage Bucs defense. Kona Quiggle's on the move on the first pitch to Caleb Van Blake, which he fouled off in behind the press box. So he'll go down 0-1. Kona does have 4 stolen bases on the season. And Kona pretty nice batting 500. Fortunately, is that enough to qualify a top batting average in the year. That will come very. Van Blake is a regular everyday starter for the Miners over at second base. So he looks at a breaking pitch high and away for ball 1. So 1-1's the count. Nobody out in this showcase game between the Miners and the Bucs. Kona Quiggle stands on first. Flores, he's from the stretch. His 1-1 pitch that misses high, and Mole has trouble handling it. It'll roll to the backstop, and Konaquiggle will advance to second on the passed ball.
No, nothing really Mole could do with that. That was well over his head, and that's just what he had to deal with.
So Konaquiggle is in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the first inning. The Miners looking to jump ahead early in this showcase game, as the count sits at 2-1 strike to Caleb Van Blake. So Flores, he looks in. Takes a peek at second, now motions to the plate. Van Blake swinging, a flare-up over to third base. Clonch under it, he makes the grab for out number 1. Van Blake is retired. That's the first out of the ball game. And that's going to bring up Spencer Henson, another all-star, and will be participating in tomorrow's home run derby as well, as he's tied for first with 5. Van Blake, who was just up, also an all-star for the Miners. As we just said, they have 12 on this roster. Really impressive, and it shows. They lead the ABL. So no surprise that a lot of green jerseys will be in that all-star game tomorrow. So 1 down in the top of the first inning. Konaquiggle on second. Flores' first pitch to Henson. This one's roped into right field. Moving back is Enos. He'll make the catch just in front of the warning track. Quiggle originally kind of froze up and then tried to get back in time to second. Thought about tagging, but he'll hold. So Spencer Henson's out for number 2 with an F9. That's going to bring up yet another all-star for the Miners, Austin Pinerini. They start out with 5 in a row in this order, and then the final 2 batters are all-stars as well. So 7 out of 9 in this lineup. You can say it's a star-studded lineup today for the Miners. So Pinerini steps to the dish from the left side. 2 outs, top of the first inning, no score. First pitch to Pinerini, a fastball that hits on the outside corner for strike 1. Konaquiggle got things started in this first inning with a walk and then advanced to second on a wild pitch, and he still sits there with 2 outs. So Pinerini, we mentioned, an all-star. He's doing the catching duties today. We've seen him catching and in the outfield. Real versatile player for this Miners team. He swings through that pitch. He's down in the count 0-2. So you got to be interesting to see where Pino will be in tomorrow's defensive alignment. But currently he sits 0-2 with 2 down in the top of the first inning. And Flores trying to set down 3 Miners batters in a row after allowing the opening walk to Konaquiggle. He comes set, looking in. His 0-2 pitch. Pinerini will swing through it. So Flores, after walking Konaquiggle to begin this ball game, gets 3 straight Mat-Su Miners batters to sit down. And the Bucs bats will come up for the first time in the ball game when we come back on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaskan Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Hi, I'm Brady Corgan, right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
So the Miners leave 1 on base in the top of the first inning, and we have no score through a half inning of play here at Mulcahy Stadium in the game 2 for the Miners in the Scouts Showcase. This is the second and final game, and they're facing the Bucs, and their lineup will go as follows. In that first spot is the shortstop from Miami, Willie Escala, followed up by the first baseman out of Gonzaga, Jake Feith. In the 3-hole, the second baseman from Lamar University, J.C. Correa. Cleaning things up for the Bucs is the third baseman out of Oregon State, Troy Clonch. And the 5-hole is the designated hitter, also out of Oregon State as well, Tyler Malone, followed up by the center fielder out of the University of Louisiana Lafayette, Brennan Bro. And in the last 3 spots, left fielder from Gonzaga, Daniel Fredrickson, the right fielder from New Mexico State, Logan Enos, and rounding things off in the 9-hole, the catcher out of Lewis and Clark College, Sladen Mole. And they'll be on to face the right-handed thrower from Arizona State University, Brady Corrigan. So Brady stepping in has 6 starts under his belt and 27 2/3 innings pitched, gathered up a 4.55 ERA, and is 2-1 So Brady looking to show off his stuff as he faces Willie Escala. His first pitch, a fastball in the lower part of the plate. That's in for a strike.
This is really a great time for Brady to showcase all he has and impress the scouts today.
His 0-1 gets Escala to swing through on a breaking pitch. We just recently saw Brady on July 10th against the Pilots. He had a start. It was a no decision in 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, and along with 5 hits, only walked 1 and struck out 4 in that short appearance. He misses outside 1-2. Facing Willie Escala, shortstop out of Miami, batting from the right side of the dish. So Corrigan, his 1-2, a breaker that just misses up in the zone. 2-2. So we can expect Corrigan to go around 2 or 3 innings tonight, considering it's a showcase game and the Miners want to show off the rest of that pitching staff. So it's 2-2. Escala well in front of it for strike number 3. So Brady Corrigan sets down the first Bucs batter. With that short break, we'll bring the Miners' defensive alignment. The man doing the catching duties for the Miners is Austin Pianarini. In the hot corner, Tyler Brosetti. At short, Drew Swift. Over at second base is Caleb Van Blake. And at first is Spencer Henson. In the outfield from left to right is Danny right and left, Kona Quiggle in center, and Nick Brooks is over in right field. So that brings up Jake Veith to the dish from the left side as Corrigan misses low with a fastball, 1-0. Seems to be a shift for the first baseman out of Gonzaga. Caleb Van Blake playing shallow right. Tyler Brosetti just to the right a little bit. The second base bag, that is, as Bozetti is normally the third baseman, and Swift still stands in that shortstop position. Outfield playing a bit back, and Nick Brooks is about 5 steps in front of the warning track. So the count's 2-0 to Jake Veith with 1 out. Corrigan's pitch. Veith is swinging, fouls it off and over to the left side. And Connor, you really can't say this is Bush League from the Miners. I know it is a showcase game, but if the scouting report says the Veith shift, he'll definitely see this if he makes it to the next level.
Well, you can also, there's a lot of shifts going on in the major league level right now. So to show that you know how to do it is something important.
He skies one high in the air into left field. On the warning track is Danny Wright, leaping up to make the catch. Won't be able to. And Jake Veith, the shift will not matter as he sends that one over the left field wall for the first run of the game, thanks to Jake Veith's solo shot with 1 down in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, Jake Veith really has been hitting all season long, coming into today, batting around .382, leading the ABL in batting average. Didn't have as many home runs as Spencer Henson or Ryan Cook, but he's been a guy that's been very productive for the Bucs all season long, and he showcases it here today.
Yeah, Veith only with 3 home runs this season, which is still pretty impressive in the ABL, batting .382 with 21 RBIs. So that home run will unfortunately not count, but it looks good in front of the scouts as it brings up J.C. Correa, the right-handed batter, the Lamar University commit. Younger brother of Carlos Correa, flied one out to left and out of play for strike 1. Corrigan misses with a fastball, 1-1. So 1 down in the bottom of the first inning. The Bucs strike first. They lead this ball game 1-0. Corrigan's 1-1 pitch just misses inside. So Corrigan hasn't really gone too late into games. Only has gone past the 5th inning twice in his 6 starts. And Correa lifts one high in the air to the left side. Bozetti en route, but it'll have to be stopped by the fence as that one goes out of play. As Correa, I believe his bat may have cracked. As this count is all tied up at 2 with 1 down. Corrigan, we mentioned, out of Arizona State, already getting up near that inning count that he had this past spring, where he pitched 33 innings in 17 appearances. It is 2-2. This one lined just over the head of Caleb Van Blake and into right center field. Moving over to his left and making the play is Kona Quiggle. So back-to-back hits for the Bucs. One of them was a home run, and now J.C. Correa gets a 1-out single on Brady Corrigan in the bottom of the first inning. They currently lead the Miners 1-0, and that's going to bring up Troy Clonch, third baseman out of Oregon State, national champion Oregon State, I should say. He bats from the right side of the dish, so Brady Corrigan will be out of the stretch for the first time today. So he comes set from the chest, his first pitch, to Troy Clonch, fastball that nails the outside part of the plate.
And for Brady Corrigan here, now he has to buckle down, settle down, really show the scouts what he can do when he runs into trouble.
Yeah, only a solo shot given up, so definitely not the end of the world or the best home run to give up if you're a pitcher, if there is such a thing. As he misses low, the count goes to 1-1. So Clonch on the season has only played in 7 games, obviously coming off that Oregon State roster. 7 of 24 so far. So it was 1-1. This one dribbled over to second base, but Caleb Van Blake was shifted, so it'll roll into right field. Nick Brooks comes up on it, tries to quickly throw into second, but Correa is there. So 3 straight hits now for the Anchorage Bucs. One of them was a home run, and now back-to-back singles puts runners on first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning as they lead the Miners 1-0. So Troy Clonch keeps his successful hitting going, and that's going to bring up his Oregon State teammate Tyler Malone doing the designated hitting duties tonight from the left side of the dish. So Corrigan looking in, trying to work his way out of the jam. He comes set. His first pitch, that misses just outside for a ball, so 1-0. And Corrigan pitching on just 4 days of rest. He's used to this summer pitching on about a week, give or take a few days, or a day, I should say. Being a starter for this Miners team, so sort of in a regular position, Corrigan's in. As his fastball misses just outside 2-0, Austin Pinarini will have a chat with him. So Corrigan out of Plainfield, Illinois, who was one of the top pitchers out of the 2017 class in the Midwest. His junior year, he went 10 of his record was 10-2 in 78 2/3 innings pitched at a 1.25 ERA. Had to miss the majority of his senior year due to injury. Senior of high school, that is, and was ranked the 7th best player overall in the state of Illinois by perfect game. So it's a pretty impressive accomplishment that Brady Corrigan gathered up and obviously got those offers and now playing at Oregon State, or Arizona State, that is. Oregon State's at the batter's box. So Jeff Erlab, quick meeting with Corrigan to go over some pitches, and he'll make a jog back. So 2-0 count, 1 down, bottom of the first inning. The Bucs already with a 1-0 lead thanks to Jake Feith's solo shot. They have runners on first and second for Tyler Malone. So Corrigan, after that break, finally ready to deliver the third pitch of this at-bat. It's fouled straight back, so the count will move to 2 balls and 1 strike. Malone, unlike his Oregon State teammate, isn't getting off to such a hot start, only 1 hit in 24 at-bats. And he has only appeared in 6 games, but does have an RBI as well. Corrigan's 2-1. This one nails that inside part of the plate for strike 2. So this this counts to tied up at 2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Miners with the best ERA in the ABL, currently sitting at 2.68, as that will not change this game due to the exhibition status. This one, a bounce over to Drew Swift. He tosses it to Van Blake at second. The throw to first in time. 6-4-3 double play to end this first inning, but not before Jake Feith sends one over the left field wall to give the Bucs a 1-0 lead over the Mat-Su Miners. We'll have the second inning when we come back on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
The Bucs get 3 hits and 1 run across as Jake Feith with a solo home run in the bottom of that first inning. So they lead 1-0 as we move into the second inning of play. Walters, Brooks, and Wright due up for the Miners. He'll still face Jacob Flores, which I would have to imagine this would be his last inning of work, if not second to last inning of work, as his longest outing of the season is 3. He has done that twice this season out of 5 appearances, as the All-Star Aaron Walters steps to the dish. He's the designated hitter tonight, but we've definitely seen Walters in various positions for the Miners, as Flores misses inside 1-0. Walters has been behind the plate, in the infield, and even thrown in the outfield a few times. A true utility player for this Matsu squad, as he bounces one over to first. Jake Veith, after backing up, makes the play over at first unassisted for out number 1. And that'll bring up Nick Brooks, who's sort of new to the party for the Miners this year, did play for Matsu last year, in which he had 34 hits, batted .279, had a .500 on-base percentage with 11 RBIs and sent 3 over the fence. So Brooks, definitely a lot of pop in his bat out of Gonzaga. He bats from the right side of the dish. So Flores' first pitch to Brooks has him swinging through. Count will go to 0-1. 1 down, top of the second inning. Bucs lead the Miners 1-0. And we're only going to go 7 today, no matter what happens, as this is an exhibition showcase game. He winds and deals. He misses high 1-1. So this is just a game to really show the pro scouts your stuff. And just, yeah, exactly that. Show off, see what you got, see what you can do.
Just relax up in the box, relax out on the field.
As Nick Brooks sends one into right center field, it'll hit on a hop before Logan Enos can get to it. So Nick Brooks with the Miners' first hit in this ball game, and now starting it out, 2 innings have been played and 2 innings with Miners aboard, and that'll bring up the switch hitter Danny Wright.
And that's good for Nick Brooks. He didn't have a hit in yesterday's game. Of course, showed off some of his power, but in foul territory. Nice line drive right into right center field from Brooks. A good start here.
Yeah, and you mentioned playing loose. Even though there's scouts in the field, you just want to play like you would play a normal game. And hopefully that means, as always, hustling and other things of that sort.
You got to do the little things right.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. So Danny Wright looks at the ball low and outside. The count has moved to 1-0. Next pitch to Danny Wright's fouled off and out of play to the right side. So 1-1 count. 1 out, top of the second inning. Bucs lead the Miners 1-0, but Nick Brooks just got aboard thanks to a base hit. So Brooks will be participating in that home run derby with his teammate Spencer Henson, looking to defend his title, as he is yet to hit a home run this season. But the champ is in the building. You got to invite him back.
Always got to give him an opportunity to defend his title.
Of course, even though he's been just up in Alaska a few weeks, doesn't matter. You're still the champ until someone takes it away from you. So count is now 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Pitch to Danny Wright's a breaker that had him out in front of it, so he's all tied up at 2. Danny Wright having himself a nice season, batting .272 with a .379 on base percentage, has gathered up 22 hits. So Mr. Wright is seeing the ball well for the Miners. Has a nice pickoff attempt there from Flores, but was not in time. So 1 out will stay on the board. Danny Wright, another utility guy for the Miners, has played a little bit of outfield and infield for Matsu, as he's listed on the roster as an infielder, but much like any great ball players, you got to adapt. 2-2 pitch is dribbled just foul and over to the left side. So Danny Wright stays alive. Wright's only struck out 13 times on the season, and coming in really on fire to this showcase and all-star weekend with 6 hits in his past 21 at-bats. Starting to see the ball well once again. This 2-2 pitch, this one skied into left field. Moving back is Fredrickson, looking at it to the wall. He'll watch it sail over the wall. Danny Wright has yet to hit a home run in the regular season, but does so here in Game 2 of the Scouts Showcase in the Miners. Now lead the Bucs 2-1. It's been exciting, Connor. All 3 runs off home runs.
Well, who would have guessed this out of Danny Wright? He's been in the lineup. He's been out of the lineup. Just put in the lineup more recently and really showing off against all these scouts, 27-plus MLB teams here today. Watching him hit that home run, really showing up here at Mulcahy.
Yeah, he really is trying to prove himself and really work himself into that everyday lineup. As yesterday, Danny Wright went 1 for 3, had a triple in his first at-bat, so he continues his success up here in Anchorage in front of the pro scouts as the Miners now lead the Bucs 2-1 in the top of the second inning. So Flores, he misses high to Tyler Bozzetti. The count is 1-0. Bozzetti playing the hot corner today. He looks at a strike on the outside portion of the plate. 1-1. Bozzetti was at shortstop yesterday, where he usually plays at the University of Nevada, Reno. Right now, he looks at another ball, so 2 strike, 1 down. Miners now leading 2-1 thanks to the bat of Danny Wright with the 2-run home run. So Bozzetti, his start at short was the second of the season, but only one official as he started earlier, as he sends that one high into the air, into shallow right center field. 3 Bucs in pursuit, but Brennan Breaux will be the final man to haul that in. So Miners have 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. That'll bring up Drew Swift, yet another all-star. So I did forget to mention that Tyler Bozzetti is an all-star as well. So that is 7. We've been counting out of the 9 Miners in this lineup as all-stars. But I have to imagine Drew Swift will definitely be playing short. So he looks at a ball high from Flores.
Well, there's nobody better defensively than Drew Swift at shortstop in the ABL. Great hands. I think projected major leaguer.
Definitely, as much of this Miners team really is. A lot of the scouts very high on these Miners players as this ball misses in the turf. Count goes to 2-0. And Drew Swift, yeah, he just got that natural talent, real quick hands, a cannon of an arm. Sometimes you can have those quick hands, quick reactions, but the arm will be lackluster. Not for Mr. Swift. Really throws that ball across the diamond with authority. As he fouls this one over to the right side, the count goes to 2-1. 2 down, top of the second inning, Miners lead 2-1. And Drew Swift is one of those guys now that they have been doing defense before the games. He's just been really fun to watch. He just so quick, so smooth. It's really something. So the 2-1 pitch, this one is grounded over to first. Jake Veith will scoop it up and then toss to first for out number 3. So the Miners bounce back after going down 1-0 in the bottom of the first as Danny Wright hits a 2-run home run in the top of the second inning. The Miners now lead the Bucs 2-1. We'll have the third inning for you when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Napa Auto Parts. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue.
Hi, I'm Brady Corrigan, right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
So all 3 runs of this game have been scored via the home run as the Miners lead the Bucs 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Breaux, Fredrickson, and Enos due up for the Bucs, the final 3 in their order. So Breaux steps to the dish from the left side out of the University of Louisiana Lafayette. As Corrigan looks in his first pitch of the second inning. It is a strike. Breaux swung through that one. So Danny Wright, who is standing left field now, had that 2-run shot. Fortunately, it won't count towards a home run total, as this is just an exhibition game, but still fun to see one sail over that left field wall.
It might not count during the ABL season, but hey, you never know. It could count going further in life.
Yeah, it definitely can. As Wright did have 3 of this home runs this past spring in Southeast Missouri State. So Corrigan misses low and in the turf. The count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out. So Breaux stands in out of, we just mentioned, the Louisiana Lafayette, batting .242 this season. Has driven across 12 runs. So Corrigan looking to set him down. His pitch, this one lined right to Caleb Van Blake, takes a hop over to second and makes the catch for out number 1. 1 down, bottom of the second inning. Miners lead 2-1. That's going to bring up Daniel Fredrickson, yet another Gonzaga player here in this ball game, as he gives the catcher for the Miners, also a Gonzaga guy, Austin Pinerini, a little tap on the back before he steps in from the left side. So the left fielder Fredrickson up with one down. Corrigan's first pitch to him has him swinging through 0-1. So Corrigan definitely doing a nice job of bouncing back after giving up a home run to Jake Feith, who was only the second batter in this Bucs lineup. So Corrigan looking in. His 0-1 pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Miners the top of the Bucs, 2-1. Corrigan's pitch is swung on and missed, so the count goes to 1-2. The Miners, if this were to count, would look to extend their season series lead over the Bucs, but it does not. So it'll stay at 4-3 no matter what happens in this game. So they have the better of the Bucs currently, as Fredrickson barely gets the end of the bat on that one as it heads to the backstop. And the count will stay at 1-2. So Brady Corrigan looking for his second strikeout of the contest. With Daniel Fredrickson. There currently is no motion up in the Miners' pen to indicate if there would be another Miner coming in after Corrigan. So his 1-2. This is high and away. Austin Piñerini really had to stretch out that mitt. So the count goes to 2-2 to Daniel Fredrickson. Fredrickson, out of his 18 hits, 6 have been extra base hits on the season. As this one is rolled to second, making the front hand play and throw over to first in time for out number 2 is Caleb Van Blake. So 2 up, 2 down to begin the home half of the second inning. Actually, I'd like to correct my mistake. It's just the 6, 7, and 8 batters for the Bucs, not the final 3. As Logan Enos steps to the dish from the left side out of New Mexico State. Enos, after coming off what really was a great spring, has been struggling quite a bit here in Alaska, only batting .205 on this summer campaign as he looks at a ball 1-0. And Enos, really against the Miners, has been struggling. Only a couple hits against the Miners as he swings through that one and 1-1. Enos with only 1 hit against the Miners all season long. So he fouls this one straight back, 1-2. 2 down, bottom of the second inning. Bucs trail the Miners 2-1. They have 2 outs and a total of 5 hits already in this showcase game, 2 of which have been home runs. This one skied into left field. Moving back is Danny Wright, looking at it and making the catch as he runs onto the warning track for out number 3. So the Bucs are set down in order in the bottom of the second inning, and the Miners will hold their 2-1 lead over Anchorage when we come back on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaskan Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
This is Connor Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Two to 1 is your score as we enter the third inning of play here in the Scouts Showcase game between the Mat-Su Miners and the Anchorage Bucs. We mentioned this will not count towards either team's record, much as they both would like to. And we're only going 7 innings, so no matter what happens, we actually ended in a tie yesterday, 1-1. So that just goes to show you that really we will end at 7. So the Bucs could make a miraculous comeback in the bottom of the 7th, but would not matter towards record. So the Miners, top of the lineup, is due back up here to begin this third inning. Kona Quiggle reached on a walk back in his first at-bat, and Jacob Flores is still on the mound. And my hypothesis right now on Jacob Flores, this would be his final inning, as he's gone 3 innings only twice in 5 appearances. So he misses high with a fastball to Kona Quiggle. That'll move the count to 1-0. So Kona, a little fun fact, actually got his name from a mountain bike company. So his 1-0 as he lines one straight over into second. J.C. Correa catches it and then sort of stumbles over his feet, but did all of that after making the catch. So 1 out as Conequiggle lines out to begin the third inning.
Well, it looked like Correa fell off a mountain bike as he was tumbling down to the ground there.
Yeah, it really did. Sometimes you got to be careful. That turf will really come to bite you. He shares a smile with his teammates, though. He's having fun with it. And you should. It's a showcase game. Got to relax a little bit. So Flores gets Van Blake swinging through for strike number 1. Van Blake, yet another all-star from this minors squad, flew out to the third baseman Clonch in his first at-bat. So the 0-1 pitch is looked at by Caleb Van Blake for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Top of the third inning, Miners on top of the Bucs 2-1. As we mentioned, also on top of them in the standings, the Bucs sit at third in the ABL, 5.5 back of the Miners. So this 1-1 pitch gets Van Blake ahead of it. Count moves to 1-2. And the Miners have really been hot ever since sort of some struggling woes. In their past 10 games, they are 7 of their last 10, so only 7-3. Really seeing the ball quite well. As Flores winds and deals his 1-2. This one goes behind Caleb Van Blake in the left-sider's batter's box. Van Blake has been hit 8 times this season. So wouldn't be surprised if it happened here in the showcase game. Luckily, he avoided it. And the Miners bats we mentioned have been pretty hot, batting .252 in this past week. That's just shy of their .254 season average. So Flores' his 1-2 is tapped right up the middle. Moving over to his left is Escala. His sidearm toss across the diamond is in time for out number 2. So it's 6-3 put out for the second out of the third inning. That brings up Spencer Henson. Will be a home run derby participant tomorrow. Also will participate in the All-Star game. And rightfully so, as he leads the league in home runs currently. And actually, what doesn't Spencer Henson in the top of is leading the ABL or second in batting average, first in hits with 38, first in RBIs with 23, and then tied for first with home runs. This one's a shot into center field, well over Brennan Bro's head. Takes a few hops before it hits the wall. Henson will glide into second base with a 2-out double here in the top of the third inning of this showcase game between the Bucs and Miners. So the Miners now with runners on base in every single inning to begin the ball game.
Well, Henson, you know he was going to hit one of these far, and that was a deep shot right over the center fielder, Bro, and just kept on running. It's the power that Spencer Henson has.
Yeah, he really does. Just sees the ball so well. And he's not one of those guys that is a strikeout or a home run or nothing guy. He definitely gets the ball in play real well. And if he hits one over the wall, then all right. But that's definitely not what Henson's going for every time he steps to the dish. So that brings up Austin Pinerini. He looks at a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. And if you're wondering, the Miners coaching right now at first base is the pitching coach, Jeff Erlab, and assistant coach, Tyler LeBron's over at third base. So not a lot of strategizing going on in these Scout Showcase games. It's all about the players this weekend. As Pinerini looks at it for a strike, he's down on the count 0-2. So skipper Ben Taylor a little under the weather today. Would imagine he's sitting in the dugout just trying to rest a little bit. We'll be managing one of the All-Star game teams tomorrow. But Pinerini on the count 0-2, put it on the outside part of the plate and kept shifting that way. So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And for the All-Star game tomorrow, it's broken up into 2 teams, the national team and the American team. Ben Taylor have the national team, and Kyle Brown of the Oilers will have the American team.
So the top 2 managers will lead their respective teams. Austin Pinerini, this one hit over to third base, having trouble with his clonch, and his throw will not be in time as he muffed it. So now the Miners will have runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. So Austin Pinerini will reach on an E5.
And what also might have been in Clonch's mind, Spencer Henson's barreling down towards third, and there's no stopping him. So if you hear those footsteps, you might get a little nervous when he gets close.
Yeah, as anyone be, much like pitchers are whenever they see Henson step up to the dish. So both bullpens are working, so we'll most likely see new pitchers next inning. So this first pitch to Aaron Walters misses low for a ball 1-0. Walters, yet another all-star for the Miners, and rightfully so. Batting .275 with a .306 on base percentage and 25 hits. Flores is 1-0, hits that upper part of the zone for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, top of the third inning. Miners lead 2-1. They have runners on first and third base bags or Aaron Walters. So Flores from the stretch. This one is just lined over the shortstop's head. Scala and Fredrickson will play it off the hop, and the Miners will tack on yet another run for the second straight inning thanks to Aaron Walters' RBI single. And that was quite a light swing, Connor. Walters saw it was the other way, just kind of threw that barrel about over it, and it showed just a simple base hit.
Well, especially for lefties, if you can show that you can have line drives opposite field, that's a great plus. You know, sometimes a lot of lefties get pull happy, but to take it the other way and drive it, that's something special.
So 3-1 is your score in the Scout Showcase game between Miners and Bucs. The Miners leading. Nick Brooks will step up to the dish. He fouls one straight back, so he'll go down on the count 0-1. Brooks, who had a base hit last inning, then ended up coming around to score thanks to the man on deck, sending one over the fence and Danny Wright. So Flores looks in with runners on first and second and 2 outs. He'll come set from the chest. Looking at second, now motions to the plate. Brooks fouls it off yet again, so he's in the hole 0-2. Brooks has struck out 3 times in 3 games played so far in this minor season, where overall he is 2 for 8, but has reached base in half of his plate appearances, but currently sits in an 0-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. So Flores looking to set Brooks down. His pitch. This one a high bouncer, but will have backspin on it and head to the backstop. So the count will stay at 0-2. Mentioned the Miners. They are a good hitting team, leading in most categories. An average they lead with .254, on base percentage with .340, and runs scored with 153 on the season, which is quite impressive. But the Bucs are pretty close behind an average. They .231 at the dish as a team. They sit second currently. So Flores, he looks in. His 0-2 pitch to Nick Brooks. This one is grounded right up the middle. Scala will not be able to get to it, and it'll roll into center field around third. And scoring is Austin Pinerini from second base. And the Miners' runs keep on coming. They've scored 2 this inning to extend their lead over the Bucs, 4-1. Nick Brooks with an RBI single, so he has 2 hits today, one of which will be an RBI.
Well, it's just great opportunity for Nick Brooks. He wasn't here in the beginning of the season, was a recent call-up as Hunter Jump had to go home, family emergency. But for Brooks to stand in here and kind of break out, it's a big thing for him.
Yes, it seems like he's just now starting to find his groove again, getting timing down, the swing down after being out of it for about a month. And it's been looking good now in front of the pro scouts. Nick Brooks definitely trying to get picked up after this ABL season, as he is a graduate of Gonzaga. So the hot bat, Danny Wright steps to the dish. He looks at a ball already. So the 1-0 to Wright. This one's fouled off and over to the right side and out of play. So 1-1. Danny Wright batting from the right side. The switch hitter against the lefty Flores has already sent one out. If he can send another one out, it'd be a 3-run shot with runners on first and second. The Miners currently leading the Bucs in this showcase game 4-1 in the top of the third inning. So Flores with runners on first and second sends his 1-1. Nails that high and inside part of the zone. The count goes to 1-2. So Danny Wright will have to protect, as the Miners have now sent all men to the plate except 2, as we have 2 outs. Danny Wright looking to extend that. So Flores, his 1-2 pitch is on the way. This is in the turf. Nice block there by Mole, as the count goes to 2-2. So Flores looks in. Count is all tied up at 2. 2 down. Top of the third inning. The Miners have already scored 2 in this visiting half of the ball game. So the 2-2 pitch, Danny Wright misses well outside. He's worked it full with 2 outs. And just like batting, Miners and Bucs are very close in pitching as well. First and second in a lot of categories for each team. So the count is full here with 2 down in the top of the third inning. Runners on first and second for the Miners. Flores' payoff pitch misses high to Danny Wright, so the bases will be full as Tyler Bozetti steps to the dish.
And, taking a walk might not show a lot to the scouts, but it says, all right, this guy has good plate discipline. He can see when the pitch is going to be outside, if it's going to be high, if it's going to be low. He's not going to go outside of the zone and chase a pitch from the pitcher.
Yeah, and it also shows the scouts that you're willing to get on base and help your team in any way possible. This game doesn't count towards record, but we mentioned it a lot yesterday. You still want to win these games. You don't want to just kind of throw out some effort and just waste away a perfectly good time to play some baseball, especially in front of the scouts. You want to show that your competitiveness is always there in anything you do. And especially when you get into sort of pro days where you're just showing off your skills, not necessarily in a game situation, you want to be competitive in that. And they're looking for sort of that same mindset this weekend. So the bases are all full for Tyler Bozetti with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. As the Miners lead 4-1, they have already brought across 2 runs in this 3rd inning. But Tyler Bozetti looks to do more as he flew out to center field in his first at-bat. He's first pitch swinging. It's fouled over to the right side now to play 0-1. So we have a cloud-covered night here in Anchorage and at Mulcahy Stadium. So the lights are on here at Mulcahy to help the batters see the ball a little better. The sun obviously is still shining behind those clouds as it's not due to set here for another few hours. So the 0-1 from Flores misses inside 1-1. So Flores, it was a mound visit from the Bucs pitching coach, and rightfully so. Flores has only gone into this 3rd inning of work twice this season, so sort of unfamiliar territory for the reliever, now starter in this showcase game. So he misses outside 2-1 with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. Tyler Bozetti has the bases full, so he looks to show off in front of the scouts. And Bozetti did in the last regular season game for the Miners have a walk-off hit to have them beat these Bucs that they're playing today. The 2-1 pitch, this one skied into right field, but a lot of air under it as Logan Enos, a can of corn for out number 3. So the Miners load him up, but before that, they did get a run across and will leave the bases loaded here in the top of the 3rd inning. We head into the home half of the 3rd inning. Miners atop 4-1 on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Caleb Van Blake, infielder from UC Davis, and you're listening to Matsu Minor Radio.
So the start of the relief pitchers will start to pour down here in Anchorage as Malachi Emmond will step to the rubber as his Miners currently lead the Bucs. The Miners scoring in back-to-back innings in the 2nd and 3rd. So he'll face the 9-1-2 batters for the Bucs, Mole, Escala, and Veith in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Malachi is having himself a nice season. In 11 appearances, has a 2.84 ERA and 12 2/3 innings pitched. Much like he just did this past spring in New Mexico, he had 26 appearances, had a 3-2 record and 39 2/3 pitched. Innings pitched, that is, with a 2.72 ERA, had 2 saves and only allowed 30 hits, 18 walks, and struck out 56. So right now, Malachi with 23 strikeouts on the season, and Connor in 12 2/3 pitch. That's pretty good.
That is very good. And Malachi, he had one hiccup in the season, allowing some runs, but hey, he's been dominant on the mound. He's been getting the outs, and it's really been fun to watch him here in the ABL.
Malachi, you really got to give it to him. A kid that's really gone through the journey out of high school into a Division III school and then worked his way to a nice JUCO school and then finally got picked up by New Mexico. So he's here at the D1 level, was on a few draft boards we saw this spring. So a kid really chasing the dream and doing whatever it takes. Malachi Emmond is that. As his first pitch gets Mole to swing through for strike one.
And in addition to keep on moving up the ladder in front of these 27 scouts, he's got a great chance here. You never know when you can be discovered.
It really is. It's one of these scouts could talk to their scouting directors and say, hey, this guy's pretty good. Maybe let's see what he can do this next spring and the rest of this summer season. So Emmond misses outside with a fastball 1-1. Emmond always from the stretch as his 1-1 gets Mole to swing through for strike two. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man in the home half of the third inning. Mole only with 2 hits and 24 at-bats this season in 7 games played. This 1-2 pitch just misses outside. The count's now tied up at 2. Mole out of Lewis and Clark College. So Mole trying to make his mark here in the Scouts Showcase. Lemons 2-2. Is just on the outside corner. It painted it for strike 3. So Malachi Emmond doing Malachi Emmond-esque things and strikes out the first batter in this home half of the third inning for out number 1.
It's just strikeout after strikeout after strikeout for Malachi. At one point, he was in the top of the ABL with strikeouts, and he's a reliever. So it's really just been fun to see who can he strike out next.
And it's just, you mentioned it really is such a great feat. Not seeing a lot of batters, but striking them out when he wants to, as he struck out more than one batter in 8 of his 11 appearances. This one, a warm burner over to short. Drew Swift makes the play for out number 2 as he sits down the Bucs shortstop, Willie Escala. So we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Malachi Emmond cruising right now. He'll face Jake Veith, though, who is responsible for the Bucs' only run back in the first inning, hit a solo shot over that left field wall. So the shift once again will be on him. Tyler Brosetti plays just off to the right side of the second base bag. Second baseman Caleb Van Blake plays in pretty much shallow right field. And Spencer Henson playing well back near that outfield grass at first base. First pitch in Veith is a slider in there for a strike 0-1. And also in the outfield, Brooks is just a few steps in front of the warning track. Kona Quiggle's backed up in center. Daniel Wright's also backed up in left as well. So the 0-1 just misses outside to Jake Veith, 1-1. And Emmond, we mentioned, has struck out more than one batter in 8 of his 11 appearances. In only 2 games, he's allowed runs, which was back June 28th as his 1-1's on the way. Veith swinging, but right into that shift. Caleb Van Blake will play it off a hop and throw it to first for out number 3. So Malachi Emmond with a perfect third inning as the Miners still lead the Bucs 4-1 heading into the 4th inning on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi guys, Drew Swift, infielder from Arizona State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
The Miners 4, Bucs 1 in this Scout Showcase game. Fourth inning will be played, and we're moving into the middle part of this ball game. We're only playing 7, no matter what happens or what the score is at the end of 7. Drew Swift, Kona Quiggle, and Caleb Van Blake due up for the Miners. They'll face right-hander Parker Johnson. Johnson, a native guy out of Anchorage, Alaska, and attends school at Indiana Wesleyan. He's a two-way player, but did not pitch this past spring at IWU, but has done the majority pitching here for the Bucs, as he's only had 7 at-bats. It's his first pitch to Drew Swift, misses low and away for ball 1. Johnson on the season with a 7.50 ERA in 6 appearances, or rather 4 appearances, and is 0-1. And really the only reason for that record, as he misses again with the fastball 2 in a row, is in that 12-inning marathon against the Miners and Bucs. He gave up all 5 of those runs to the Miners in the top of the 5th inning. But other than that, he has not allowed a run in any other appearances. So the 2-0 to Swift. This one's popped into center field. Brennan Bro looking at it and will make the one-hand grab for out number 1. So Swift, that's the second time he's been retired this evening, the all-star shortstop. And once again, we'll see the top of the order. Kona Quiggle will step to the dish from the left side. Kona is 0 for 1 tonight. Walked in his first at-bat and lined out to J.C. Cray at second base in his second at-bat. So Johnston, the right-hand thrower, already has 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Kona Quiggle chops this one foul to the right side. So the count will go to 0-1 with 1 out. The Miners lead 4-1. They've scored in back-to-back innings, as they had 2 runs on 3 hits. And they did leave the bases loaded full, however, last inning, as Jacob Flores, the starter, went 3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 4 runs. Only 2 of those were earned on 2 walks and struck out 1. So Johnson's 0-1 pitch. This one's a rocket shot over the middle, but moving over nicely to his right and across his body. Throw is J.C. Correa. Nice play for out number 2. So nice 4-3 put out there from J.C. Correa, who was just drafted this past spring by the Houston Astros, but chose to attend college. And that brings up Caleb Van Blake, yet another all-star for the Miners. He bats from the left side of the dish and is 0 for 2 tonight, has flown out and grounded out. But obviously facing Parker Johnson for the first time, as he sends one over the middle. Moving back is Bro, but he'll make the grab for out number 3. So the Miners, just like the Bucs, are retired in order to end this 4th inning. We head into the 5th on Matsu Miners Radio as the Miners lead the Bucs 4-1. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
So a couple changes for the Matsu Miners as we head into this home half of the 4th inning. They lead the Bucs 4-1 in the showcase game. We'll begin with the defensive changes, and Aaron Walters will step to the dish in replacement of Austin Pinery. Walters is the designated hitter, so I'd imagine they would just flip-flop positions, but the order will stay the same. And the new man on the mound is a right-hander out of Williamsburg, Virginia, in Boston College, Sean Hughes. So Sean, who had a rough go of it to begin, has now really started to pull things around. His 4.76 ERA is a little misleading, and 11 in the third innings pitch. Does have a 1-0 record in 11 appearances, as he's only allowed an earned run in 3 appearances. And June 28th against the Oilers, allowed 1, and the 11th against the Chinooks gave up 4, and then on the 8th against the Pilots only gave up 1 as well. So only 6 earned runs for Sean in those 11 in a third innings pitched, but has not allowed any in past 7 of his 8 appearances. So he'll face Correa, Clonch, and Malone are due up. But as always, in these showcase games, you never know. You could see some pinch hitters or some new guys throwing in on defense. As other than the catching change, the Miners are all squared away at defense. So 4-1 is your score, bottom of the 4th inning. Sean Hughes' first pitch. This one's tapped right back to him, goes in between his legs. Sliding is both Swift and Van Blake, but that ball will squirt into center field. So a hit to begin this home half of the 4th inning for J.C. Correa, his second of the day. Had one back in the 1st inning. We can see Correa tomorrow in the home run derby. We'll be there with first baseman and Bucs teammate Jake Feith. That is their 2 representatives. So Clonch will step to the dish, the right-handed hitter out of Oregon State, with a runner on first and nobody out. Hughes comes set from his waist, his first pitch, a breaking ball that is fouled straight back. So Sean Hughes this past spring at Boston College appeared in 20 games, had a 1-0 record and 16 2/3 pitched, a 3.24 ERA with 21 strikeouts, 18 walks, and allowed 17 hits. So he's currently heading the count 0-1. His pitch. This is low and inside to Troy Clonch, who, as we just mentioned, 1 for 1 tonight with the base hit. And Sean Hughes, actually, his senior year of high school, pitched very well, had a record of 4-1 with a .94 ERA. In 29 2/3 innings pitched with 55 strikeouts. So his 1-1's delivered. It misses high. The count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Bucs trail 4-1, but they do have a runner on first. They like to come back here in this showcase game. All games being played in Mulcahy, hence why the Miners played the Oilers yesterday in Anchorage. As the 2-1 pitch, this one barely hits the end of the bat and will roll foul to the left side. So 2-2 is the count, as Sean Hughes on the season has struck out 13 batters, is walked 12 as well. Sean Hughes, if you remember, here in Anchorage did have that nice leaping play to really save some runs for the Miners a few weeks ago. So the 2-2 from Sean Hughes misses high. Walter's throw down to second was in time, but Van Blake was unable to hold on to it. It really was a nice play, but unfortunately, that little white thing will head out of the leather, and now the Bucs rather, will have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, it was a nice tag by Van Blake, but when he went to come up with it, the ball came out of his glove and kind of went high in the air.
Yeah, it's really tough to see that as a catcher, especially having a nice throwdown, but unfortunately, nothing of it. Correa does have a stolen base on the season. Mentioned exhibition game, so that stolen base won't count, but showing off the speed in front of the scouts. As that pitch did miss high, so the count is full with nobody out here to Troy Clonch. So Hughes looks in. Is that runner in scoring position on second base. So Hughes from his waist, his payoff pitch is bounced to third, just gets by, diving Tyler Bozetti. Around third, trying to score is J.C. Correa. Danny Wright will run it down near the left field wall. So Correa scores as Danny Wright's throw was into second base. And the Bucs bring across another run. They are now just 2 runs away from tying this game here in the bottom of the 4th as they trail the Miners 4-2. Troy Clonch delivering with that nobody out RBI double to bring in J.C. Correa. So that mishap at second base proved to be costly, Connor.
Yes, it did, and of course we take it with a grain of salt since this is exhibition, but still, you want to win the game, and that's a situation right there that can come back and bite the Miners.
So Troy Clonch, the new guy for the Bucs, comes in huge, and they now just trail the Miners by 2. So 4-2 is your score, as Sean Hughes misses high and away with a fastball 1-0. So Hughes, this is another guy, an important weekend just finished up his junior season at Boston College, so will be draft eligible once again after next season. So definitely want to show out in front of these scouts, show that he can come back from adversity. He misses high again, 2-0. Tyler Malone grounded into a double play in his last at-bat, which got Brady Corrigan out of a jam in the first inning. What could have been worse, and all we saw was one run come across due to Jake Veith's home run. So a long look in from Sean Hughes causes Tyler Malone to call for time. So standing out on second is Malone's Oregon State teammate, Troy Clonch. So the 2-0 pitch is on the way. Swung on and missed. So Sean Hughes gets a strike across. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Miners atop of the Bucs, 4-2. As now all lights are on here, Mulcahy. The outfield lights were off, but have since been turned on.
And the last pitch into Malone, it's a telling one. A fastball inside that beat him. So I expect Hughes to keep on pounding inside.
And he does so just there. You were right on the money on that one, partner. So the count is now tied up at 2. Sean Hughes looks for a strikeout. That's definitely a strikeout kind of guy with that power fastball. Has a live arm.
And of course, in the beginning of the season, we told the story about how everybody kind of just turned their head and watched how good Hughes was taking his bullpen.
Yeah, a lot of pop in the catcher's mitt when Hughes is on the mound. Just misses outside with a fastball. So another Bucs hitter works a full count in this bottom of the 4th inning. They've already brought across 1 run in the last at-bat thanks to Troy Clonch's RBI double. So Hughes, his payoff pitch, misses outside. He'll walk Tyler Malone. And now the Bucs will have runners on first and second with nobody out in the 4th inning. And this Miners team, little uncharacteristic from Hughes there, as the Miners, are second in strikeouts with 250. But however, they do lead the league in walks with 134. So that total is starting to slow down as the Miners are finding the zone a lot better heading into this second half of the season, but still quite a high number. So Hughes' first pitch into Brennan Bro has him swinging through 0-1. Bro lined out to Caleb Van Blake back in the 2nd inning. So 0-1's the count. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Bucs have already brought across 1 as they trail the Miners 4-2. So Hughes, his 0-1 pitch, kicks and deals. A breaker nailed the inside part of the zone to the left-handed hitting Bro. He's ahead in the count 0-2. So middle infield playing double play depth now as Spencer Henson's back near that outfield grass. Bozzetti playing in default position at 3rd. Hughes' 0-2's on its way and misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brennan Bro.
And Sean Hughes needs to get Bro here, get an out, and then just work from there. Get the first one, the other 2 will come.
So Hughes definitely looking for a strikeout right now. Would be the first of the day for Hughes, as the Miners have had 2, 1 from Corrigan and 1 from Emmond. As Hughes misses inside 2-2. Hughes did relieve Emmond, who last inning had a perfect inning. Not allow anything with a strikeout, as the Miners do lead the league in ERA with 2.68, but closely behind are the Bucs at 2.75, much like most of these pitching categories. So Hughes is 2-2. Breaker misses just low for a ball. So yet the 3rd straight batter that's worked a full count for the Bucs. Hughes trying to get it to work into his favor this time. Got in a run, and then Malone drew the walk and last at bat. So Hughes, after looking at second, motions to the plate. This one is skied into left center field. Moving over is Quiggle and Wright, but the left fielder, Deanie Wright, will call off Quiggle and make the catch for out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. So we'll go back to those pitching stats. The Miners are first in batting average allowed. Hitters only hitting 203 against them, but right on their backs are the Bucs at only allowing hitters at 205. Miners second in strikeouts at 250. Bucs are 3rd at 246. But in a category that you don't want to be leading in, the Miners do lead with walks given, 134. And the Bucs are 3rd in that category at 117. So really two of the top pitching and hitting teams here in the ABL dueling it off tonight. They are the first and third in the overall standings, however, as Hughes delivers a first pitch ball that misses low to Daniel Fredrickson, left-handed hitting out of Gonzaga. As we mentioned, the Miners currently lead the ABL at 21-12. The Bucs third, 5.5 back of Matsu. So runners on first and second for the Bucs. Hughes misses again with a fastball, 2-0. With one out in the bottom of the first inning, the Bucs looking to tie this game up as they trail 4-2. As the go-ahead run is at the plate, we're only playing 7 innings, ladies and gents. No matter what the score is after the final out is recorded in the bottom of the 7th. This 2-0 pitch, nice breaker from Sean Hughes, so he gets the first strike in this count to Daniel Fredrickson, who grounded out to Caleb Van Blake at second base in his first at-bat. So Hughes looks in from the stretch. Long look into Walters. Definitely going over pitch count. So Hughes from his waist, his 2-1. Breaker that hits the outside part of the zone. The count is now 2-2. So Sean Hughes once again in a position to strike out a Bucs batter. Unfortunately, 2 out of the past 3 didn't go too well, but the last batter he did get to fly out as that was in a full count situation. So Hughes count all tied up at 2. Hughes' pitch. Swung on and missed by Daniel Fredrickson. So Sean Hughes has retired back-to-back Bucs batters. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, trying to hold the Bucs to only scoring 1 run here in this bottom of the 4th as they lead the Bucs 4-2. As Logan Enos steps to the dish. Enos has driven across only 10 RBIs this season, and it has only 1 hit against the Miners all season long, as he did not hope that streak out back in the 2nd inning as he flew out. He looks at a strikeout side from Sean Hughes. He's down in the count 0-1. So Sean Hughes, the 6'1" right-handed hurler, mentioned out of Boston College, just finished up his junior season. Looks to head into his senior season on a high note after a good summer. There's a 1 pitch that misses in the turf. Nice block there by Aaron Walters, who was recently just put in this inning, replacing Austin Peenringy. As the Bucs have already brought across the run thanks to Troy Clonch's RBI double, bringing in J.C. Correa that led things off with a single. So Hughes, after looking at second, now brings it to the plate. Fastball that hits every part of the zone. He's ahead in the count to Logan Enos, 1-2. Enos has struck out 12 times this season in 28 games played. A strikeout would not hurt his stats, obviously, since we're playing the exhibition game, but a moral thing, Hughes would definitely like to get a strikeout here. His 1-2. Big breaker. Misses just low, so the count will be tied up at 2. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Bucs with runners on first and second. So the tying run at first, go ahead, is at the plate. They trail 4-2. They also trail in the season series to the Miners 4-3. This game will not count towards that. Hughes' pitch hit right back to him, but it gets just under his glove, and Caleb Van Blake, with quite a neat play right there, flipped it over to Drew Swift with his glove, and then Swift said, you know what, I want to do something cool too. Caught it with his bare hand as he was covering second for out number 3. So Sean Hughes gives up a run, but that's it. As the Miners still lead the Bucs 4-2, we enter the 5th inning when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, Let's Do Lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
No change on the mound for the Bucs as we are in this fifth inning of play, but they do have a change over at second base. Tanner Treadaway will come in to replace J.C. Correa, but they trail the Miners 4-2 as Spencer Henson, Austin Pinerini, and Aaron Walters are due up for the Miners. So Henson steps to the dish. He is 1 for 2 tonight, had a base hit back in the third inning, came around to score the Miners' third run. So Johnson still on the rubber. He misses low with his first pitch to Henson, 1-0. So Tanner Treadaway in at second as Correa will come out. He came across to score that second run for the Bucs in last inning. So Johnson's 1-0 to Henson. This one a rocket to the hot corner by Troy Glanch. He bent down, threw the leather up, shut the eyes, and what did he find? A baseball. So out number one off a hot shot from Spencer Henson's bat. What a play there from Troy Glanch for out number one. And that'll bring up Austin Pinerini.
Well, great play from Clouch, and another great swing of the bat from Spencer Henson. Really showing off here today and yesterday.
First pitch to Pinerini misses low and away. Pinerini batting from the left side, so righty on lefty matchup with one out in the top of the fifth. The Miners holding the 4-2 advantage over the Bucs in the Scouts Showcase game. Tomorrow, we'd definitely like you to join us on the broadcast. Should be a fun one for the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby as Pinerini hits one high in the air in the shallow left field, moving all the way over from shortstop as Escala makes the catch for out number two. And Aaron Walters will step up to the dish. He is 1 for 2 tonight as he bats from the left side, now playing catcher as he came in to replace Austin Pinerini. So Pinerini moves into that DH role. And Walters has been really on fire in the past week, batting .333 with 6 hits and 5 RBIs. So he lines one over to the left side and out of play. Walters actually, well, after we exit the Showcase and All-Star weekend, we'll be riding a 6-game hit streak. That was prior to the 2 previous games where he batted .521 and had 9 RBIs. Walters really playing his way into the All-Star game as he lines one into right center field. It'll take a few outs before Enos cuts it off in right center field. And Aaron Walters extends this 5th inning. So now the Miners have had base runners in 4 out of the 5 innings played in this Showcase game. Walters, his second hit tonight. He is showing off in front of the scouts. And Walters is actually going to be draft eligible after next season. Will only be finishing his sophomore year at Texas A&M, but will be the age of 21, so that meets one of the requirements to be in the MLB draft. So another important game for another important guy, an all-star Aaron Walters.
Well, Walters really does have a nice swing. His mechanics are down, and I have a good feeling about him going on to the next level.
So Johnson will work out of the stretch with 2 outs as Nick Brooks smashes one. Souvenir City. Nick Brooks extends this Miners lead as we'll see some more of what we'll see tomorrow in the Home Run Derby. A 2-run shot to extend this Miners lead 6-2 over the Anchorage Bucs.
Right through the field goal. Oh, there's a football field right down into left field and beyond. It went right through the uprights. Nick Brooks, what power he just displayed.
Boom is what you would say after a hit like that. Nick Brooks is his first run hit back in a Miners uniform, but unfortunately won't go down in the record books as this is just an exhibition game, but still has to feel good for Brooksy as you're heading into the Home Run Derby, and now you finally got one under your belt in a game. And so that means that now 4 out of the 8 runs scored in this game have been via home run. So a lot of long balls as Danny Wright looks at a strike with 2 down in the top of the 5th inning. The Miners lead 6-2 thanks to that 2-run shot from Nick Brooks. So Johnson misses high to Danny Wright. The count goes to 1-1. So Nick Brooks this past spring did have 8 home runs for Gonzaga, as he has one just now. So Danny Wright stands in. He also does have a home run for the Miners as well. He had a 2-run shot. This one towered over into the foul ground on left side. Moving under it is the third baseman Troy Clonch, and he catches it for out number 3, but not before an absolute smash from Nick Brooks in the top of the 5th inning to extend this Miners lead over the Bucs 6-2. We head into the home half on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is David Avitia from Grand Canyon University. I'm a catcher, and this is Mat-Su Miners Baseball.
So after that 2-run bomb by Nick Brooks in the top of the 5th inning, the Miners lead the Bucs 6-2 in this showcase game, and the Miners will have a new thrower on the mound from the right side, and out of Southeast Missouri State, Nathan Bach, who's had quite the season in 19 2/3 innings pitched, gathered up a record of 3-0 in 15 appearances, all of relief. Also has 2 saves to add to that. And the biggest one out of all of them, a .91 ERA. Has only allowed an earned run twice, and that was only one on 2 occasions. June 14th against the Bucs, and also on June 11th against the Chinooks. Nathan Bach has been pitching quite well for the Mat-Su Miners, trying to make his name known. And he'll be facing Mole, Escala, and Veith are due up for the Bucs. But as always, it could change due to pinch hitters and defensive changes. So Mole will step to the dish. He struck out in his first at-bat back in the 3rd inning as they look to bring back some runs as they trail the Miners 6-2. So Bach works out of the windup. His first pitch, a fastball that nails the lower outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitting Mole. Mentioned Mole out of Lewis and Clark College as Bach's 0-1. Has Mole swinging through. He's heading the count early, 0-2. We've seen this a lot from Nathan Bach. 16 strikeouts on the season. So he's looking for one right now. It would be obviously an unofficial strikeout, as this is an exhibition game. But before he can deliver it, Mole will ask for time. So bottom of the 5th inning. We're only playing 7 in this exhibition game, Scout Showcase. Bach's 0-2. Mole thought about it, but he lays off. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Nathan Bach out of Southeast Missouri State. Before Southeast Missouri State, played at Longview Community College. As Bach misses low, the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Bach's 2-2's on its way. This is low and away. So Mole, after working the count full, or after going down 0-2, has now worked the count full with nobody out to begin the home half of the 5th inning. Bach's 3-2. Fastball misses low, so Mole will be on board via the walk. And that will bring up the shortstop, Willie Escala, with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Bach, this past spring, In 11 appearances and 11 innings pitched, had a 4.91 ERA and only 10 strikeouts and 8 walks. So Buck really improving this summer, showing his stuff, really confident in himself. So he'll face the shortstop Willie Escala with a runner on first, and still holding a 6-2 lead over the Bucs. So Buck coming set from the chest, delivers to Escala, getting him to swing through. Escala is 0 for 2 tonight, struck out in his first at-bat. Also had a ground out in the third inning. So 0-1 currently sits the count, as these are two of the better hitting teams in the ABL. At first and second in the average and runs scored, first and third. Miners with 153 and the Bucs with 123. As nailing the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitting Escala. Box ahead in the count, 0-2 with nobody out. So he's looking to set down Escala. It would be his second strikeout tonight. So Box 1-2 line right to Drew Swift, who leaps and makes the catch. His throw back over to first, not in time, but impressive play from Drew Swift. And to even get that throw to first remotely close is very impressive out of Swifty.
Well, even more, he did that midair. The transition all in the air, had enough power to throw it without even having his feet on the ground. Drew Swift, amazing defense at shortstop.
He was quite impressive and looks like he's going to get a compliment from umpire Scott Johnson over at second base saying, "How did you do that?" As Caleb Van Blake's even laughing about it. But nevertheless, there is one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The Miners still lead 6-2, and the Bucs still with a runner on first to Jake Veith. As now Caleb Van Blake will be the only one shifted. Drew Swift moves more towards second base. Bozzetti a couple steps over from his normal third base position. As Veith hits that out of play to the left side. So Veith hit into the shift in his third at-bat, or second at-bat in the third inning. So 0-1's the count with one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The Miners leading 6-2. Runner on first for the Bucs. Box pitch misses high and away to Jake Veith, so the count has gone to 1-1. The Miners do lead this season series overall 4-3, as they just won recently against the Bucs, thanks to Tyler Bozzetti's walk-off hit back on the 12th. 1-1, fouled straight back by Jake Veith. He's down in the count, 1-2. Mentioned Jake Veith leading in batting average, as Veith has only struck out 23 times this season in 89 at-bats. So really seeing the ball well, and with that .477 on-base percentage, he's trying to make his mark as he is a graduated senior, so trying to be a late season sign. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, box pitch. Veith swinging at it, but fouling it out of play to the left side as that heads into the parking lot behind us. Bach trying to work out of Veith, who had that home run back in the first inning. Just a solo shot, as the Bucs only have brought across 2 runs, trailing 6-2. Still, Mole still standing on first, as Bach misses outside with a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The outfield moved over just a little bit to the right and playing back, much like the infield is all moved towards the right and playing back as well. Benson holding the runner at first, so he was the only one that will play not out of position. 2-2 to Veith. He swings through that one. Nathan Bach sets Jake Veith down on strikes for out number 2 with the bottom of the 5th inning. So,
definitely an impressive strikeout going inside on Jake Veith, right in his powerhouse. And to retire him that way, great job by Nathan Bach.
Really is Bach that would be his 17th strikeout of the season, but does not count. And now every single pitcher that has pitched for the Miners has recorded a strikeout. So 4 total on the day. And Tanner Treadaway will to the day tonight as he replaced J.C. Correa in the top half of the 5th inning at second base. He looks at a strike outside for strike 1. So Treadaway the Oklahoma commit, just played this past spring at Seminole State, has 22 hits on the season with a .214 average and a .264 on base percentage. Came in to score 6 times. He fouls this one off, so he finds himself in an 0-2 hole. As Mole was on the move, so a hit and run situation applied. as we've seen a total of 13 hits this game, 8 by the Miners, 5 by the Bucs, but the Miners with the last laugh, they lead 6-2.
The Miners really made their hits count, especially Nick Brooks. Still, what a shot off of him.
That one's still going. The 0-2 from Bach misses away to the right-handed hitting Treadaway. Bach is on a 11 scoreless inning streak currently, so he'll look to extend that when we come back from this Scout Showcase and All-Star weekend. Currently sits ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. His 1-2 just misses high with a fastball, so the count goes to 2-2. Nathan Bach and Danny Wright are actually cousins. So the left fielder, Danny Wright, cousins with the man on the mound, and Nathan Bach. Grew up playing baseball together, and here they are playing summer ball together. Bach misses outside. The count has been worked full by Tanner Treadaway, 3-2. And sort of a similar situation is between Drew Swift and Braden Merritt. They are not cousins, but they grew up playing baseball together, played high school ball together, much like Bach and Wright did. Played on similar summer ball teams. So a lot of chemistry and connections already heading in before the first pitch was even thrown to the minor season. Bach's payoff pitch is lifted into right field. Nick Brooks takes a few steps in as he makes the catch for out number 3. So Nathan Bach does walk 1, but the Bucs will leave him stranded in the minors. Still leads 6-2 heading into the 6th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Welcome back into Matsu Miners Radio, where the Miners are atop of the Anchorage Bucs 6-2 in this 6th inning. We will see a defensive replacement. Now we notice that shortstop Willie Escala has been replaced by number 17, Dimitri Calaccio out of the University of Utah. So that's the second change now for the Bucs they made on the defensive end. So Parker Johnson still on the mound for the Bucs. He was the only reliever for Anchorage, and he will stay on the rubber, and he'll face Bozetti, Swift, and Quiggle. So Bozetti, standing in from the right side of the dish, has flown out twice tonight in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Johnson's first pitch to Bozetti misses in the turf as that one goes to 1-0. Bozetti, an all-star for the Miners, playing third base. When we return from this Scout Showcase and All-Star weekend, he will extend his 7-game hit streak, where he's batting .320 in that time with 3 RBIs. So he swings through that one. The count has moved to 1-1. With nobody out as we begin the 6th inning, the Miners lead the Bucs 6-1. They extended that lead last inning thanks to Nick Brooks' absolute missile over the left field wall. So Parker's 1-1 to Bozetti, misses inside, 2-1. You've seen Brooks do it in batting practice again and again. It's nice to finally see it in a game.
Oh, it was tremendous seeing Brooks hit it in a game. Just batting practice, first day, all the jaws were open, all were on the ground, and now for it to break out here in this game, it's a great thing to see.
Bozetti's 2-1 is grounded foul to the left side. So count is tied up at 2. Bozetti does have 2 uncles that played in the majors. His uncle Rick Bozetti played for the Phillies, and his uncle Todd Province played in the Blue Jays organization. So a lot of ties to the majors. Bozzetti has and would love to make it there someday. So Parker comes set, his 2-2 pitch. Bozzetti swinging at it, a dribbler over to third. Clonch gathers it, strong throw across the diamond for out number 1 to begin this 6th inning. As it brings up Drew Swift, 0 for 2 tonight. But we have seen his defensive theatrics shown on display tonight. Last inning making that nice jump throw after catching the high line drive from Willie Escala and then almost got Mull on doubled up. Somehow threw it with a lot of force in the air. Johnson's first pitch to Swift has him check his swings, and home plate umpire says he did go, so he's down the count 0-1 with 1 down. So the Miners also will be try to keep them hot streak going as they have won 7 out of their past 10 games coming into this weekend. As Johnson nails with a fastball, he's ahead in the count 0-2. So Johnson, if this game did count, it would be 7 earned runs given up against the Miners. 5 in one appearance and now 2 in this appearance. But luckily for him, it has no effect on his ERA. So he kicks and deals. Breaker just misses to Drew Swift. Johnson thought it was, but Swift holding off nicely. As Swifty has some plate discipline, drawn 12 walks this season, and is also in lone second place for stolen bases with 12. So the 1-2. This one hit high in the air to left field. Moving back is Fredrickson. This one near the wall and caught just before exiting the park. So Fredrickson makes the catch as Drew Swift with a loud out for out number 2. As Swift, I believe he thought it might have went out. It's tough to see the ball because there is a white advertisement in left field, so it's hard to keep track of it.
Well, Swift, that was the best piece of the ball he's gotten all season. He drove it deep out into left field and unfortunately didn't have enough power to hit it over the wall, but good sign from him, hopefully moving forward.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3 tonight and only had 2 hits in his past 16 at-bats coming into this evening. So Conequiggle will swing through the first pitch from Parker Johnson, one of the 7 all-star minors in this lineup today, as they have a total of 12. So Johnson, his 0-1 to Quiggle. This is outside. Rather hits the outside part of the zone. Count is now 0-2 on Conequiggle, who's 0 for 2 tonight, after reaching back in his leadoff at-bat in the first inning on a walk. So Johnson gets his sign. Now comes set from the chest. His 0-2 pitch. Misses with a fastball outside. So Conequiggle, who is tied for second and hits with 35 out of Phoenix, Arizona, having himself quite the season. But we mentioned only 3 hits in his last 19 at-bats entering this weekend. But the break could be helpful. Johnson's 1-2. Fouled off to the left side, so Conequiggle will stay alive with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Miners leading the Bucs 6-2.
And this is something that Kugel has done nice all season long. He works deep counts. He fouls a bunch of pitches off and tries to stay at the plate as long as he can and work the pitcher.
So Johnson looks in. Once again, will come set for this 1-2 pitch. Misses just outside with a fastball, 2-2. So Parker Johnson does have 5 strikeouts this season in those 4 appearances. Has walked 4 as well and allowed 6 hits. So his 2-2 is delivered, but fouled straight back as Conequiggle sort of awkwardly finishing that, tending to his right shoulder, but sort of swings it through and seems like he's going to be all right and ready to stand back to the dish. Johnson is also from the plate 1 for 7 on the season, where all he did was a position player this past spring in Indiana Wesleyan. So the 2-2 pitch with 2 outs, back by Conequiggle. To that shoulder, now tries to stretch it out a bit. So that may have to be looked at by Kona, but swinging through very nicely as he was on the last 2 pitches, just getting the bat a bit under it. So Johnson once again looking in. The right-handed thrower who originates from Anchorage, Alaska. 2 balls and 2 strikes. His pitch fouled straight back once again by Conequiggle. His past 3 have been fouled straight back to the netting in front of these 27 scouts here this weekend. So Kona, who's really been a nice addition to this minors team, actually started the first game of the season at first base. Said he hadn't played infield since before Little League. He's been an outfielder for most of his career, but having that transition, a real team guy, wanting to help out in any way possible. Johnson, once again, 2-2 fouled straight back by Conequiggle, who, after each swing, Connor, is really tending to that right shoulder.
Well, he is, and it's a little awkward of a finish. Quiggle kind of just staying in the box with his legs still, in the batter's position. So you got to question what's going on with Kona and make sure that he's all right, but no sign yet from the dugout.
So Johnson will try the 2-2 once again. This time hits the outside part of the plate for strike 3. So Parker Johnson sets down the Miners in order for the second time tonight, but the Bucs still trail the Miners 6-2 as we head into the home half of the 6th inning on Mat-Su Miners. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
I'm Josh Haley, left-handed pitcher from the University of Arizona, and you're listening to Mat-Su Minor Radio.
So the Miners, after getting set down in order in the top half of the 6th inning, will have a new man on the mound, right-hand thrower Noah Cordova. He looks to preserve this 6-2 lead over the Bucs. Cordova replaces Bach, who went an inning, gave up a walk, but that was it. So Cordova, out of Chandler Gilbert Community College, but has signed with Cal State Bakersfield and will play there next season. So he'll join Kyle King, who we expect to see tonight and part of this Mat-Su Miners bullpen. But Cordova on the season has appeared in 10 games, started in that first appearance, has compiled a 2.11 ERA with 17 innings pitched and a 1-1 record. So he'll face Troy Clonch, Malone, and Bro due up for the Bucs. We mentioned that could change due to the whole showcase system. And Conequiggle is out there in center, so shoulder must be feeling just fine. So Cordova's first pitch is a fastball that misses low to Troy Clonch. He's 2 for 2 tonight with two hits, a single in the first and a double back in the 4th inning. As Cordova has that 6'6" frame, real tall figure out there on the mound. This one skied into right center field. Moving over to his left is Conequiggle, but he'll be called off by Nick Brooks in right field for out number 1. So Tyler Malone stepped to the dish, 0 for 1 tonight, grounded into a double play in the 1st inning and walked in the 4th. As this is the second to last inning, only playing 7 in all of these showcase games in the ABL. So Tyler Malone steps to the dish from Oregon State. As Cordova this past spring at Chandler Gilbert, his first pitch nails the outside part of the plate. Malone checked his swing, but it did not matter.
Great off speed from Cordova. Really got Malone guessing.
Yeah, and it was a great placement, too, because it was going to be a strike regardless if he swung or not. So the 0-1, that misses low to Tyler Malone for a ball, 1-1. Cordova has struck out 9 this season and walked 9 as well in his 10 appearances. So his 1-1. This one is lifted into shallow right field, moving Backpedaling is Caleb Van Blake, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So Cordova has seen 2 batters and set them both back for the Miners, as he has 1 out to work with to possibly extend this strikeout streak. Every one of these 4 Mat-Su Miners pitchers that have pitched have recorded a strikeout in this game. But if you can set down the Bucs in order, I'm sure that would be just fine for Noah Cordova. We mentioned will be playing for a new college next year in Cal State Bakersfield. So Cordova originally out of Mesquite High School in Gilbert, Arizona. As his first pitch is on the way, misses outside for a ball. Cordova was actually a state champion back in 2015 with Mesquite, and then has worked his way up, now playing at Division I level and in the Alaskan Baseball League against tough competition. As this pitch nails the inside part of the plate to the left-handed hitting Bro. He's 0 for 2 tonight, as the Bucs only 5 hits, but do have 2 runs as they trail 6-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Cordova's 1-1, fouled straight back and out of play. So Cordova ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We mentioned with those 9 strikeouts on the season, it would not increase the double digits as this is an exhibition game. So the 21-12 record of the Miners and the 15-17 record of the Bucs will stay the same. Cordova from the chest, his 1-2 pitch just misses high to Brennan Bro. Drew Swift taking a step in, much like the rest of the Mat-Su Miners defense, as this count's all knotted up at 2. So Cordova will try again. His 2-2 pitch, fouled straight back. So Brennan Bro will stay alive. Brennan Bro on the season has struck out 23 times. So obviously this would not affect his stats if he does or doesn't strike out. Cordova looking in, now in motion to the plate. This is inside, but gets the nod from Walters. That's where he was set up. As he misses, and the count has been worked full by Brennan Bro. He went down early 0-2, but has brought it all the way back full. So nice plate discipline. So Cordova's payoff pitch. This is a line shot in the left field out of play. So the count will stay full to Brennan Bro, as the Bucs trying to dump on this Miners pitching staff late, but it's been a tough thing to do. Mentioned a 2.6 ERA so far this season for the Miners. Cordova's payoff pitch, a no-doubter on the outside part of the plate, so he sets down the Bucs in order to end this 6th inning of play. We head into the final inning, the 7th inning, here on Mat-Su Miners Radio, with the Miners leading the Bucs 6-2. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaskan Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Hi, I'm Caleb Van Blake, infielder from UC Davis, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Miners 6, Bucs 2, as we head into the 7th and final inning here in Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. And this is the final game for the Scouts Showcase for the Miners before the All-Star Game and Home Run Derby tomorrow, which is also going to be taking place here in Mulcahy. They'll see a new man on the mound in Alex Siegel from Wichita State University. Siegel has appeared in 3 games. Rather, scratch that, 8 games, has started in one of them, and an 18 2/3 innings, has a 5.30 ERA, and is 0-4 on the season. So he's seen the Miners twice this year, hasn't done too well against them. In 4 2/3 innings, has allowed 2 earned runs and has given up 4 hits. So this is the third time the Miners will be seeing Siegel as Van Blake steps to the dish from the left side. Face the left-handed Siegel. Van Blake 0 for 3 tonight, but will be in tomorrow's All-Star game. Much like one of 12 Matsu Miners. So Siegel's first pitch to Van Blake has him swinging through for a strike, so 0-1. Siegel replaces Parker Johnson, who allowed 2 runs in 3 innings of work. So this 0-1 almost hits Caleb Van Blake in the shoulder as the count moves to 1-1.
For some reason, unbeknownst to us, we have no idea why Caleb Van Blake keeps on getting hit by a pitch. Ever since he's been on the Miners, he's been hit 8 times to lead the team.
And it's really surprising. It also leads the league as well that he's just a ball magnet like that. And pitchers, obviously, it's not intentional, but when they miss, it just happens to be Van Blake they miss on. As he's down the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the top of this 7th and final inning in this Scout Showcase game. Siegel's pitch tapped right back to him, so he'll make a few steps over to first and toss it to first for out number 1. So a 3-1 put out to begin the 7th inning. The Miners with a 6-2 lead, so a 4-run cushion is pretty nice as they just look to extend that to out of range of 1 swing of the bat. Spencer Henson will come to the dish. He is 1 for 3 tonight, but almost was 2 for 3. And his last at bat hit a rocket to Troy Clonch, who made the nice catch. So he'll be mentioned in the home run derby tomorrow and the All-Star game, and rightfully so. Brent Henson's 2nd in batting average and 1st in hits, 1st in RBIs as well. And the cherry on top, tied for 1st in home runs. He swings through this first pitch from Alex Siegel. So he goes down the count 0-1. The Miners have compiled 7 hits tonight and 6 runs. So Henson fouls it straight back as the Miners first scoring in the 2nd inning thanks to a 2-run home run from Danny Wright, and then scored 2 in the 3rd inning. And then back in the 5th inning, Nick Brooks with a 2-run missile. And the Bucs scoring in the 1st inning thanks to a Jake Veith solo shot, and back in the 4th inning thanks to Troy Clonch's RBI double. That's how we're at this 6-2 score right now. As Siegel misses outside, the count has moved to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out to Spencer Henson. Henson out of Oral Roberts University just won the Triple Crown this past spring for the Summit League. 1-2. This one skied into left field. Moving back is Fredrickson, but right at the track, he'll stop and make the catch for out number 2. So possibility of yet another home run for the Miners comes to a close as Austin Pinarini steps to the dish with 2 outs. So this will be, unless Austin Pinarini gets on, be the final at-bat for the Miners. As Pino is 0 for 3 tonight, reached on an error back in the 3rd inning. So Siegel trying to set down the Miners in order. He misses high to Austin Pinarini. Not only be the 3rd time tonight that a Bucs pitcher has done so. So he winds and deals. Pinarini bounces it foul to the right side. A lot of high hops due to the turf here at Mulcahy. So the infield is turf, and then the outfield is grass up here in Anchorage.
It's a high hop, but you get a true hop. There's no left or right that the ball is going to just mystically bounce away from.
Yeah, no lips either, which a lot of infielders quite enjoy as Pinarini swings through that outside pitch from Siegel. Sees down the count 1-2. Pino has only struck out 14 times this season coming into this weekend. So Aaron characteristically for him if he possibly strikes out again, but not looking to do so. This 1-2 pitch misses outside to Pino. Count is 2-2, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Miners lead 6-2 in this showcase game in front of 27 scouts this weekend, told to be in attendance at Mulcahy. So Siegel is 2-2. It's Austin Pinarini to swing through. It was dropped by Mole, so he'll throw down to ensure the strikeout. And for only the 3rd time tonight, the Miners are set down 1-2-3. We'll see the final 3 outs of this ball game, and we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Miners leading 6-2. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
So we're ready for the final 3 outs and final half of the inning here in Mulcahy Stadium, the Scouts Showcase, where the Miners lead the Bucs 6-2 in their final game of the showcase before the Home Run Derby and All-Star game tomorrow.
Those two should really be fun to watch and exciting to see the best talent in the ABL.
Yeah, it really shouldn't be all in that one game. Anytime you throw an all-star game together, it's quite fun, no matter what sport, no matter what it is. Anytime you get the best of the best playing in the same arena in the same game, it's bound to be for excitement, especially that Home Run Derby. I'm really excited for that with a lot of big bats in the ABL.
Well, after Brooks hit that shot back earlier in this game, I think this is going to be a tough one to take away from him.
Yeah, it really is, as he is the defending champ. So going to be really fun to watch to see what he can do at this Home Run Derby tomorrow. So Kyle King steps in for the Miners, the left-handed thrower out of Cal State Bakersfield. He'll face Fredrickson, Enos, and Mole are all due up for the Bucs. They trail 6-2. So Fredrickson is 0 for 2 today, and facing King, we mentioned the left-hander, has appeared in 8 games, started in 1 of them. His first pitch is on the way, misses well outside for ball 1. King, in 9 innings pitched, has only allowed 3 runs, has a 1-1 record, struck out 7, and only walked 5. So King has converted himself into a sidearm thrower, as he was the overhand, but working with pitching coach Jeff Erlab has changed that delivery, and that's really helped that nasty slider that King works with as he delivers it right there. The count is 1-1.
A slider and frisbee, as we've heard it been called, and he just gets it over. It's got a lot of movement and not necessarily fast, but effective.
And he's really hitting spots quite well with his pitches as he nails a fastball right there, 1-2. King has worked his way into the left-handed specialist role for the Miners, but in the showcase game, would imagine he would pitch all 3 outs right now in the bottom of the 7th as the Miners lead 6-2. So King's 1-2 pitch, a slider that had Fredrickson completely fooled. So King keeps that strikeout train rolling for the Miners. Now every single Miner that has pitched has had a strikeout. So 6 pitchers have came in the showcase, and 6 have recorded a strikeout. And it's only the 6th strikeout of the game for the Miners, but 6 strikeouts in 7 innings, that's pretty efficient.
Yeah, I'll take 1 inning. Not too bad.
No, not at all. Logan Enos, the switch hitter, will step to the dish, batting from the right side for the first time tonight. The Miners have only thrown right-handers all night long, but King misses outside to Enos, 1-0. And King, this is a nice opportunity to face a right-handed batter, normally only seeing the left-handers. So his 1-0's on its way. Fastball that nails the outside portion of the plate, 1-1. Enos tonight is 0 for 2, flew out in the 2nd inning, and then reached on grounded out into a fielder's choice in the 4th to end the inning. So the 1-1 pitch, that's a fastball that nails the zone. King once again ahead, both 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. This is the final inning of play between the Miners and the Bucs. Even if the Bucs tie it, we'll end in a tie, much like we did yesterday. King's 1-2s in the turf, so we'll move to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
King is working low in the zone, and he's also pitching outside, really hitting his spots and wherever the glove of Aaron Walters is being positioned.
So King looks in for his 2-2 pitch. Has the sign his from the waist and misses in the turf. So Enos has worked the count full at 3-2. So the Miners have walked the most batters this season with 134. So not trying to add to that trend right now. King takes a deep breath. His payoff pitch. Enos dribbles it down that third base line. Charging in is Tyler Bozetti. He tried to make the bare hand play, but unfortunately will mishandle it. So Logan Enos will reach on an error. And that's going to bring up Sladen Mole, the catcher from Lewis and Clark College, to face Kyle King. And Kyle, we talked about Malachi Emmond doing whatever it takes to try to get to that next level. Kyle King, much like that. Cal State Bakerfield is his 5th school in 5 years, starting out at the community college level at Allen Hancock College in Santa Maria, California, and then moving on to Long Beach State eventually, where he had the red shirt, and now he's at Cal State Bakersfield. And even changing his arm slot as he checks first, Enos back in time. We saw King the other night throw a guy out on first, so definitely a nice move on the left side from the rubber. As King does a nice job bringing that leg up straight every time, and you never know. He changes up the way he goes to the plate, so you can never tell if he's going to throw at you or head to home. He does that time, nails with a fastball to Sladen Mole. Mole's 0 for 1 tonight, reached on a walk in his last at-bat in the 5th inning. As the Bucs only 5 hits tonight on 2 runs. They trail 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th. King looking to shut things down. His 0-1. That's fouled straight back. So the count moves to 0-2. King once again ahead. Middle infield playing double play depth. The double play would end the ball game. And the Miners would go on. They look to go 2-0, or rather 1-0-1 as they tied yesterday with the Oilers in the showcase game number 1. This 0-2 misses away from Kyle King, so the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes and 1 out.
Unusual that a game is going to end in a tie, but in a showcase game, another team has to come in and take the field, and that's all you can show them.
As the Miners offense has definitely been prevalent tonight. Swung on and barely nips the bottom of the lumber for Mole to stay alive at 1-2. As the Miners were only held to 1 run yesterday, but their pitching was on fire yesterday as well, only allowing 1 run, much like it's been today. Only those 2 runs given up. So King looks in. His 1-2's on the way. Swung on and missed by Sladen Mole. Kyle King with his 2nd strikeout and the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As we see Dimitri Calaccio step to the dish for the Anchorage Bucs. Calaccio replaced Willie Escala in at shortstop. He's batting .210 this season, 13 hits, brought across 8 runs, and an on-base percentage of .242. As he swings through a nasty breaking ball from Kyle King. Counts move to 0-1.
And on the backswing, he might have just tapped the glove of Aaron Walters as he kind of just patted his glove and said, "Hey, sorry about that."
Yeah, sometimes when you're full, you kind of just let the bat go. Don't really think about it. The Kings 0-1. Fastball misses away to the right-handed hitting Calaccio. So 1-1 count with 2 down, bottom of the 7th inning. Miners lead 6-2 in this showcase game as they look to get their first win, tying yesterday with the Oilers at 1. They've had 2 home runs today, 3 in total between them both. So King gets Calaccio to foul it straight back. He's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The Bucs down to their final strike of the ball game. So Calaccio takes a deep breath, fixes his batting gloves, taps his bat, taps the plate. It's ready to roll. King set from the waist. His 1-2 pitch nails the inside part of the plate. And Dimitri Calaccio is rung up to end this showcase game for the Miners as they go on to win this one 6-2 over the Anchorage Bucs. So the records will not change. As we mentioned, it is an exhibition game, but the Miners' record this weekend is 1-0-1 after tying the Oilers yesterday. So no post-game show. We're on the road here in Anchorage. Connor, final thoughts of the showcase games? What guys impressed you? What guys you think improved their status? And just overall thoughts.
Well, of course, just to get out of the way, Spencer Henson, line drive after line drive, he's been impressive all day. And, of course, Nick Brooks, we talked about his power. Finally, the home run went out. It was great to see. Brooks, of course, impressing 27-plus here today. And let's just talk about the last pitcher on the mound, Kyle King. He might not look imposing at 5'10", but, hey, 3 straight strikeouts right here in front of the right people. It's an impressive breaking pitch he has. He locates his fastball no matter where it is. He did a nice job to close out the game.
Yeah, he really did. It was really cool for Kyle now that he's getting into his own with that sort of sidearm approach and being a big part of the Matsu Miners bullpen. So we'll talk about tomorrow just for a quick minute. And there is a home run contest before the All-Star game tomorrow. The home run contest set for 1, the All-Star game set for 4. We will have both games for you here on the Matsu Miners YouTube channel. And we don't quite know exactly who will be on the call for the most part. It'll be a fun little broadcast we'll bring for you. But the home run contest can guarantee you pregame show about 20 minutes before that to discuss the home run hitters. And then before the All-Star game, we'll also try to come on the air about 10 to 15 minutes before to discuss the All-Star game as well. So we mentioned that'll be on the YouTube channel. Myself, Brad Walker, and Connor Mills included will be on some part of that in the broadcast crew. So for the second game in this Scouts Showcase, the Miners are victorious over the Bucs 6-2, so they go 1-0-1 this weekend. For Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker, and as always, it's been a pleasure.